Hello, everybody. So glad I could be back with you. Oh, hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Welcome. I am your host, Captain Boring. This is your 10-minute sports report for Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. We are coming to the end of November, beginning of Christmas season, SZ. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Real quick, before we get started, look down below, see that like button, smash it. Just absolutely smash it. Then I want you to hit that share button that is close to it and share it with your family and friends. And finally, I want you to comment down below, what is one thing that you wanted for Christmas but never got? Okay. Comment down below. What is one thing for Christmas that you never got? I can tell you one thing that I got that I really never wanted, but it was the greatest gift ever, which was my PlayStation 2. That started me on my college football video game era. Therefore, my college football. Shout out mom and dad. Best Christmas ever. But comment down below. That wasn't the question. What is one thing that you always want for Christmas, child, adult, wherever, that you never got? So, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for tuning in. Let's just jump right in today. Speaking of college football, the college football playoff rankings came out. These are the last ones before the final ones, which will set the playoff. These are the ones before championship weekend. So we have Georgia at the top. Obviously, they are the best team in the country. I think that they're just going to maul anyone who gets in their way. Number 2, Michigan. I hope Michigan wins on Saturday against Iowa. I hope then they win their semifinal game against probably the 3 seed, whoever that is, and I hope that they get to face Georgia. I thought that last year a Georgia-Michigan national championship would have been highly, highly entertaining. It was not meant to be. J.J. McCarthy threw 2 pick sixes, 3 overall. I think it would be entertaining. I think if Michigan winning, it would come full circle. It would end that era because it started in 21. They beat Ohio State, got blown out by Georgia. And then they would, it would come full circle to them beating Georgia in the national championship game, ending Georgia's run at a 3-peat. Anyway, number 3 is Washington. Number 4, Florida State. They both went out. That's probably your 4 right there. Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State. Oregon sitting there. Washington and Oregon play each other. Ohio State sitting there at 6. They can still get in with a lot of chaos that might happen in front of them. Texas, Alabama. Texas, they win. They're 12-1 and a Big 12 champ, could be on the outside looking in. Alabama, if they beat Georgia, could they go from 8-4? Who knows? You have Missouri right there and then Penn State right there as well. So those are your final rankings heading into Conference Championship weekend. Go check out our all brand new episode of Fourth One Podcast Thursday, Friday, sometime in there. Fourth One Podcast right here on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, wherever. And we break down all that stuff. We make picks and all of that. Alrighty, now to the other football news. The Jets. Aaron Rodgers, 11 weeks after surgery, the Jets opened a 21-day practice window, meaning he can begin to practice and has been cleared for functional football activity, quote unquote, but not contact, according to Coach Robert Saleh, who called this a progression in his rehab. Saleh said it's too soon to say whether Rodgers will play again this season. By rule, the Jets have 21 days to decide whether to activate Rodgers from injured reserve or keep him there the remaining of the season. Here's the problem. The Jets are, I believe, 4-7. Technically in the playoff hunt, but not quite there. Here's the other thing. Rodgers is getting paid very little this year, still has another year on his contract. Next year, he's worth like $60 million. He's owed $60 million. So his cap hit goes way up. But tore his Achilles week 1, play 4, and now is already probably is cleared to start practicing again. Alrighty, let's look back at some NBA scores, get the NBA standings. We'll do the same for the NHL, then we'll get you on your way. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So on Monday night, the Denver Nuggets went to the Los Angeles Clippers and behind 35 points from Reggie Jackson, beat the Los Angeles Clippers 113 to 104. That same night, the Los Angeles Lakers traveled to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. Behind 31 points from Tyrese Maxey, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists from Joel Embiid. They crushed the Los Angeles Lakers 138 to 94. On Tuesday, the Atlanta Hawks traveled to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers, and behind 40 points from Donovan Mitchell, the Cleveland Cavaliers just boat raced the Atlanta Hawks 128 to 105. Now, if we look at the standings here, again, we did standings on Monday, but let's look at where they are now. So the Philadelphia 76ers still sit in fourth place. They're 1.5 games behind the Boston Celtics for first place. The Eastern Conference standings go the Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, Orlando Magic, Philadelphia 76ers. The Magic and the Sixers are each tied at game and a half apiece. The Bucks are 1 game behind the Celtics. So this is very early on in the season, 82 game schedule, ladies and gentlemen, and we are 17 games in. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 4 games back of first, but only 2.5 games back of fourth, and 3 games back of second. So again, still very early on. They are 10-8, 4 games. They are currently the 8th seed, so they would have to play in the playoff. Or the play-in, I would say. Right now, the Philadelphia 76ers would take on the New York Knicks. Out west, the Denver Nuggets are on a 2-game winning streak. They are 1.5 games behind the Minnesota Timberwolves. They sit at 12-6 on the year. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Clippers, who made the trade for James Harden, they're 4-6 in their last 10. 1-game losing streak, or they lost their last game. They're 7-9 and currently the 11th seed. So Philadelphia is lucking out so far in that trade. Alrighty, let's look up some hockey. So on Monday night, the Vegas Golden Knights traveled to Calgary to take on the Flames, and they lost in overtime 2-1. The Tampa Bay Lightning traveled to Colorado and got smashed, or I would say this is a smash version of hockey, 4-1 there. That both of those scores were on Monday night. On Tuesday night, the Anaheim Ducks traveled to Vancouver to take on the Canucks and lost 3-1. The Vegas Golden Knights traveled to Edmonton to take on the Oilers and lost in a shootout 5-4. The Seattle Kraken traveled to Chicago to take on the Blackhawks and lost 4-3. So all the teams we're covering just are not doing so hot in the winning department. Let's check on the standings, and then you are out right around 10 minutes. So in the Western Conference Central, the Colorado Avalanche extend their winning streak to 4 games. They are 15-6-0 overall. They have 30 points, which is 2 games better than the Dallas Stars and 4 points better than the Winnipeg Jets. In the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights are on a 3-game losing streak. They need to turn this puppy around. They are 14-5-4. However, they sit atop the Pacific, 1 point ahead. They have 32. The Vancouver Canucks have 31, 1 point ahead of the Vancouver Canucks. The Seattle Kraken are on a 2-game losing streak. They're 8-10-5. They have 21 points, and they are currently 5th. They fell behind the Calgary Flames. And then the opposite of the coldest team in all of hockey, both literally and figuratively, maybe, since they play on ice. Get it? Ha, 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 ha. They are 9-13. They have 18 points. The Anaheim Ducks are 6th in the Western Pacific Division. And that'll do it for this rendition of the 10-Minute Sports Report. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Go follow us on Instagram at 4th and 1 Podcast. Michigan plays 8 p.m. tonight. I will be back hopefully Friday. Hopefully Friday I'll do an episode. If not, I will be back later this week, maybe early Saturday morning if I can't get one out Friday. I'll get you all set up for the weekend, all caught up from NBA, NHL action, and get you caught up with the latest in all things sports. As always, I pray God bless you. Know that God loves you. And do not forget to wash those paws that you call hands, because y'all are filthy animals. That's annoying. Bye.